Hello everyone, Nicolette here again. So today I just wanted to talk about something that happened last night. Um, I lost my first patient at work. It was rather devastating. I had always prayed that God did not allow a patient to die on my shift, but I guess it had to be done. At some point, I had to get the experience and learn what to do and how it's done. So it happened. So it was like around 5ish, and I was just doing rounds, and CNA comes to me and was like, such and such is gone. And I was like, gone? So in my mind, gone meant left the building. So I'm ready to go and search the building to make sure that the patient's actually not there, and then go outside to find out if they're around somewhere nearby. But then thinking of the person she was referring to, I thought, wait, no, I don't think that person would have the agility to leave the building. So then I was like, wait, do you mean gone as in leave the building? And she's like, no, I mean gone as in dead. I was like, oh. So then another mood set in. And then inside it was like a panic, like, what do I do? I've never was exposed to such a situation, and I'm like, so then I go into the room, and as a nurse I know what to do, I know the signs. So, I check the vitals to make sure that, the patient was actually deceased. And that was like the most frightening part, the fact that it was my call, like I had to declare the person deceased. And I was so afraid of making the wrong call. Like, I know you're thinking, well, it's either the person has died or they're not dead, right? But at the time it wasn't that simple. Like I know, okay, no pulse, eyes not dilating, not breathing, no circulation, cold, right? All of those are signs, and then blood pressure and things like that. And I did all of that, but it was just like, it was my word, and then I had to call the doctor and inform him of that decision, of what I had found, and call the hospice, call the parents. And what if I was wrong? What if, that was what I was so afraid of, and then I was afraid of, what if there was something I could do, can I bring her back, can I, is there life still in the person, is there something I, should have done, could have done to make them live again? And there was nothing. And even if there was, I couldn't do much because the person was DNR. So, I just had to let them go anyway. But being that I had found the person in the state that they were in, there was not much to decide about but to declare them deceased. But it was just so it was a different experience. It really was. And then I had to call the relative, or relatives. I called the granddaughter to let her know that grandma has passed. Whoever wants to make that call to someone, it's like I didn't know how to say it, to put it more soft, to put it softly or kindly, or how do you say those words and not get, not to have the person feel that impact, that pain? There was no way. So I told her, and you could hear the sorrow and the pain in her voice as she talked. And there was a point where I was talking and she said, I didn't hear anything you said, which was understandable. Like, it's hard to take in, it's hard to accept. It's such a hard thing to have someone pass away. Anyway, so today at work, the ladies that were there, the nurse in particular was like, I was so glad it was you that was here because you were so calm about it, and how many of these experiences have you had? And I was like, none. She's like, none? I was like, yeah, it's just my temperament. I'm not one to get flustered and carry on and panic. I rather internalize things and just get even more calmer as others around me panic. I don't know. I remember, short story, when I was in nursing school and it was finals time, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, it's do or die, it's either I pass or I fail, and this is a determining factor, this exam is just gonna either make me or break me. And people were like doing push-ups and they were like talking, and some people were praying or whatever, I think. Anyway, so I just sat there, hands on my desk, pencil at the side, and waited. And this woman that I knew, who knew me, turned and was like, Nicolette. And I'm like, yes. And she goes, everyone here is panicking. You can't show any other expression other than calm. And I was like, no. Now, had she seen what was going on inside, she wouldn't say those words. Because it's not like I don't feel the panic. There's like a storm up in here. But I can't let it out. I can't let it show. I don't know. I just I tend to like hold it all in and try to diffuse the situation so it doesn't blow out of proportion. You know, that's just who I am. I hate screaming and running about, and I actually got in trouble for that once in clinicals. So a child was having a respiratory issue and I wasn't the person that was taking care of the child. A classmate told me, go get the instructor. So then I go get the instructor, but I don't run. I walk in a fast pace and I tell her, excuse me, we need your help in such and such a room because the patient is not doing well breathing wise, you know. So I didn't scream, I didn't talk loudly. I guess I wasn't in too much of a rush for her, not enough. So then she wrote me up and she said I needed to show her that it was a serious situation and there was dire need for her help, because when she got there, well, the child was not in distress, mind you, but she felt like a breathing distress called for more than I was expressing. And so then I told her, that's just not who I am. Next time, well, it's not next time because I'm a nurse now, not in clinicals, but I'll send someone who panics a bit more, right? But I just stay calm. I'm just a calm individual. I'm sure I know how to panic, but I haven't met the situation to make me panic yet. Like, when I panic, I get like cold and hot and like, but it's all inside. It's like, it doesn't penetrate the surface. It's not that I don't feel it though. Everyone panics. It's part of being human. But we all control it differently. I control it more than others. Right? I don't stress usually. That's just not my thing. I believe God will work it out, whatever it is. You know, if it's bad, it's either going to turn out good, work itself out some way, somehow, or it's just going to continue to be bad and there's nothing I can do about it. And if there's something I can do about it, I usually do it. And if what I'm doing is not enough, well, what else can I do? Panicking is not going to fix the situation, really. It actually makes it worse, right? Because then there's chaos and there's people not thinking straight. And so I usually tend to think more clearly in a panicking situation, because like, I just do. I don't know. I don't like situations where there's panic though. It's not like I look for them. I try to stay away from them. I used to think I could work in the ER, right? And I used to want to work in the ER. And like, I would be thrilled that adrenaline, that, you know, but I don't know, I rather like calm. I don't want to be running around with this and that to do, even though I could do well at it. Maybe in another, I'm not saying I can't, but I would prefer not to. I used to think I could, but then as a nurse, now with all the responsibilities, right? And the kind of person that I am, that like kind of, I feel like I blame myself for like things, you know, like what could I have done, and I don't know. So anyway, it happened first time. I got through it. And I'm still praying that it doesn't happen again. One experience is enough for me. I've learned and I know exactly what to do now. I didn't make any mistake. I didn't get a call back, you know, after I left work, Nicolette, why didn't you do this and that, and did you do this and that, and whatever. So everything I did was fine, so I'm glad for that. But that's good. So God, we're good here. So that's that. Life is so short. It kind of teaches you a bit too when you see death, that whatever you need to do, do it now, because once you're gone, you're gone. There's nothing anyone can do to bring you back, to change that, right? So that was it. So it was a first for everything, and that was my first. Cheerio.